Итак, приветствую вас, дамы и господа, и добро пожаловать на вечернюю трансляцию по Spellforce. Эть! Ой, чая нет, бля, ни хрена нет. Слон упал. Ай, ни хрена чидушка не успевает, просто ни хрена. Так, здравствуйте, Кусой Зуб, здравствуйте, Драконостер, здравствуйте, Алконост. Здравствуйте, Алфалкон. Здравствуйте, Сафроныч. Так, вроде работаем. Это что там? А, вот. Я пытаюсь понять, что мне такое под рукой. Ой, 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 зараза. Ой, как все болит, как все плохо. Так. э, Мысли, новости. Сейчас, момент. Дуплюсь. Унылые новости, поехали. Нет, нет, нет. Рано. Еще рано. Так, вот. Да, тренировка прошла успешной. Ой, че это такое себе? Здравствуйте, Арсенгул. Организатива пытаю. Так. Я тут пытаюсь просто найти способы, как... Ну, блин, времени вообще нету. Я пытаюсь найти способы, как возможно улучшить качество картинки с захвата с PS-ки. Вот. И я даже пока не знаю, прям пока не знаю, прям пока вот не знаю. Что же мне такое сделать, чтобы все это можно было сделать? Что будет, если перестанешь ходить в зал, я перестану ходить в зал. Что еще будет? Нет, просто я посмотрел воду, в принципе, и что-то как-то особо доволен я не остался. Потому что особо экшен моменты и все такое начинает все квадратить и пикселями идти. В принципе, по-моему, это ну, не очень правильно. Здравствуйте, докторка. Ой, как жмешь, пока нисколько у меня кроссфит. Я жму ногами в основном. Ногами могу жать килограмм 125 пока. 3 подхода по 15 раз. Руками пока немного. Так. Не, ну просто я не успел даже подумать. Я думал консоль в LAN соединить вместе, чтобы... Ну, а консоль мне показала большой жирный факт и сказала, нет, хрен тебе. Нельзя меня в LAN соединить, иди ты к черту отсюда. Вот. И, в общем-то, все это очень плохо, и все мне это очень сильно не нравится. То есть чертовке очень прям сильно не нравится, что картинка квадратит. Я не знаю, что с этим сделать. Чем лучше сказать, что все болело как профит мне, ну, лучше выглядишь. Какой еще может быть профит в качалке? Ты просто лучше выглядишь. Тянкам нравится. конечно, за одиночество и гомосексуализм во всех его ответвлениях, но в разумных пределах. Вот. Так. Это что такое? А, это ничего. Кстати, вот вам новогодний стрим по-гудгеймовски. Вот. Короче, ставите вот эту херню, вот эту сверху. Можно вот так вот даже поставить. Вот так вот. Вот. И запускать новогодние стримы. Вот это будет новогодний стрим по-гудгеймовски. Ирония. Смешная штука. Так. Я все качаю, просто ноги быстрее всего качаются. Эть! Вот так вот, ножку, опаньки. За качков это надо говорить фразу «сколько жмешь» на массе, на сушке, и орать во время подъема штанги. В производном порядке. Нет, там не надо орать. Это его признание в гомосексуализме, да. Здравствуйте, сорт. Господа, опять же, я жажду прямо фидбэка по поводу первого ввода по плойке, потому что пока что без вливания еще 1015 я не смогу добиться лучшего качества. К сожалению. Поэтому если нормально потянет с квадратами, то пишите. Если не потянет, и вам кажется, что качество картинки не соответствует высокому качеству стримов чедушки, то тоже пишите, что не соответствует. Потому что я не знаю, то есть мне париться по этому поводу или мне не париться по этому поводу. Потому что лучшего достичь никак не могу. Только когда она была вчера, Годовар стримили, третий. Вот. Там вот есть на ютубе. Для кого я их выкладываю? Качество что-то я не знаю, как должна быть картинка. Изначально я видел такую же графику вчера на твоих стримах подарок Мессая. Просто когда более графонистые игры пойдут, я думаю, то, что графон пикселями идет, будет более заметно. Так, что у нас по прокачке? И можем ли мы как-то ее изменить? То есть как-то вот так, да? Ну ладно. Может быть, перекачаемся даже. Вместо зомби чисто такой, чистый физик будет. Угу. Никакого интеллекта, никакого. Нет, мне просто надо, чтобы видео с картинки было. Как бы понятно. Здравствуйте, ВС Магоцифера. Last of Us, а у меня нет Last of Us.
Blazes. Battle noises. They're already inside.
They are. Come. Let's go get an overview.
А, вот теперь все, кто может с нами торговать, теперь могут с нами торговать.
Villain's reigns. This doesn't look good.
Tahar, you're awake.
He is, and he has got some interesting stories to tell.
But they'll have to wait. Where are Isgrim and Gore?
I don't know. They weren't in the Nexus when the fight broke out. I'd say they've taken matters into their own hands.
What are your orders, Tahar? This doesn't look good.
We have to seal the entrances. If they breach through either one of them, we're done with.
Then we need to split up. I'll get some of my men and make a stand in the southwest.
Then I'll take over the northwest. That's the hardest one for them to reach, so chances are they still haven't made
Остальное
it.
окно. Ладно,
we'll
тогда
help you.
пока париться не
Good.
буду.
And Tahar, if what that scout said is true, and House Utran is really part of this attack, don't harm her. I know my sister, and this does not make any sense at all. There must be a reason for all of this.
Леди Майра Утран. А, ну твоя сестра, ну я себе перец, твоя сестра. Сделаю все, что в моих силах.
I'll do my best. Good luck, Angar. We'll come to your help once the other entrances are secured.
Do that.
О, какой вселенной тебе напоминают.
Will do.
Вархаммер.
Of course.
А почему именно как бы к ним-то я присоединился? Да.
Yes?
Ну пошли сюда, что делать?
Understood.
Новогодний сборки ГГ просто топчик. Ну давайте елку включу, и это будет новогодний стрим на Гудгейме. Елку включу, рога достану и понеслась. Здравствуйте, XPB. Ой.
Got it.
I've said it, but what the Tahar? Is that you?
I'll explain later. What's the situation?
Corporal? What the Tahar? Is that you?
I'll explain later. What's the situation? What are those things?
My newest invention, or to be more precise, my newly recovered Shaper technology. I call them, Death Towers.
Death towers.
Yeah. While you were asleep, I did some more research on how the Shapers use the Nexus to defend their city. This is the result, though they won't hold forever. And my gut tells me the Utrans are up to something, because I haven't seen Lady Moira yet.
So it's true. House Utran is fighting for the purity of light.
Yeah, and quite viciously so. In other words, your awakening couldn't be more timely.
What do you
Это я
suggest?
найду.
Well, as you know, I'm not the best at tacticians, but from what I saw, the attacks are currently coordinated by 2 Utran commanders. If we stay here and make sure no one gets through, you could take out those commanders in the meantime.
Got it. I'll come back when it's done.
Good. Nihalf, guide your blade, friend. Sure.
Да, весело. Елку в студию. Вот.
As you require.
Достаточно елистая елка.
Understood.
I'll do what's required. I'll be swift.
Let us make this quick.
Да вы издеваетесь, блин.
Corporal? Good. Now let's find the other one.
А где маг идти колотить? Не, ну какие домашние смерти? Ну понятно, что это, блин, не башня смерти из Варкрафта. Ну это как бы вариация от их темы. Здравствуйте, Филя.
Sure. Blazes, that's Lady Myra Utran. We need to help Iskrin.
Is this really necessary?
А может как-то поспешим, а то сейчас Эсгрим-то кончится, он как бы не резиновый. Проклятие, что это такое? Она словно сбезумела.
One more step and you'll slit my throat.
Lady Mira, what?
Shut up!
Назови мне хотя бы одну причину не убивать тебя.
Tell me one reason I shouldn't kill you.
Let me think. How about the fact that if I die, the Utran lands will fall into chaos and you'll have another civil war at hand? Just what you need right now, isn't it? Not to mention that the poor, precious Lord Marshal would be heartbroken, losing his sister like that.
I hate to say it, but she's right.
А никого не смущает, да, что она на два голоса говорит?
I don't understand. Why did you betray the crown? Explain
Нет, это
yourself.
башня смерти.
Explain yourself.
Dead Tower.
Oh, Tahar, you misunderstand the situation. You're not in a position to give orders. So here's what's gonna happen. You will let me walk away unharmed. You can have my soldiers, I don't care. But if you make only one wrong move, I will end this by slitting my throat.
Я понятия не имею, что в ней сидит.
You heard me. So, Tahar, what shall it be?
Ты блефуешь.
You're bluffing.
Try me.
Да тут без вариантов, выбирайся отсюда.
Fine. Get out of here.
A man of reason. One more thing, though, before I leave.
What?
You will repent. All of you.
Nihav's hammer. What? I mean, what was that?
I have absolutely no idea.
I understand.
That is... Wait. I have a theory.
About what happened to Myra?
Yeah. But let's talk about that later. I think this entrance should be safe for now. The Death Towers will make sure of that. But what about the rest of the city?
I'm on it. We'll meet at the Nexus when, if, this mess is taken care of. Be on your guard, Iskrin.
Of course. Thank you again, Tahar. Well, I'm glad you're back.
Got it.
What now? The southwest, the southeast.
Пошли сюда. Сейчас мы кому-нибудь что-нибудь сунем такое стоящее.
Is there anything you need?
You have my attention.
Так, у него свой посох, своя шапка. Нормально ему. Сейвочка. Елочка, ну да, сейчас, погодите. Сейчас мы это все исправим. Раз у нас елочка есть, давайте стебаться по полной. Если уж на то пошло. Новогодние стримы. Поехали. Елочка есть, отлично. Новый год по-гудгеймовски. Все, у нас сейчас везде новогодние стримы идут. Вот все. Кто молодец? Я молодец. Почему? То, что стримы новогодние. Вот почему. Да, это так, это гудгеймовская фигня. Здравствуйте, Демпинекс.
Interesting.
Blazes, it is you. Last time I saw you, you were lying on that stone bed like a bloody corpse.
That's about how I felt when I woke up. What's the situation? I don't see any purity men around here.
No, not purity, but someone else. According to my scout, they're gathering their forces down that valley. My gut tells me they're waiting for reinforcements.
Ну и с кем мы здесь имеем дело?
If it's not the purity, who are we dealing with? Another one of the royal houses?
No, I don't think so. To me, they look like bandits. But they're fighting under Aeonir's banner. And the man my K-Ran hunter took down had the purity symbol tattooed right across his forehead.
The Bane. The ones who massacred the Nortander outpost in Leafshade.
Huh. Yeah, that fits.
Damn it. What's the plan then?
Well, now that you're here, I say you move out and crush them.
Подарки.
We'll hold our position and cover your backs.
Simple enough.
All right then. Move out.
What now? The southwest, the southeast, and the northeastern entrance are still undefended.
Then we need to take care of them.
Подарки вы не можете дарить, потому что это стримы типа новогодние. Чё, как-то вы прям коварно к этому вопросу решили подойти. То есть, если выставляется вот эта фигня, как бы новогодние стримы, тогда как бы можно дарить подарки, а если нет, то нет. Что-то как-то мы лихо с ними разобрались.
You read my mind.
Yes, I understand.
Всегда приятно убивать простых людей. Они как бы не шибко бронированные, не шибко понтовые. То есть подходишь к ним и в дыню бьешь. Очень приятно.
The fabled pariah. Interesting. I thought you were dead.
Ну и почему вы так поступаете?
Why are you doing this? Throwing your lives away for some deluded madmen.
Deluded? You're confusing something, Tahar. The Harbinger is pure. We're pure. You. People like you are who are making this necessary. It wasn't always like that, you know? A long time ago, this world was a world of peace. But then man gave in to temptation. They were weak, and they chose sin over virtue, sin over purity. And now look where we stand. Our history is a testament to our corruption. Wars, rape, hunger, illness. They are Aeonir's punishment for defying him. But that era has come to an end. We will make the world pure again and make it worthy of Aeonir's return.
Но Аэонир есть и прощение.
By slaughtering innocents. Blazes, are you that blind? Aeonir's forgiveness. You are perverting his name for your own purposes.
No, Tahar.
Можно.
Aeonir is justice, and that's what we deliver.
У Чейдушки можно все, кроме мата.
I'm injured. I am ready.
Help me, somebody!
Not bad, Tahar. Not bad.
Any last words?
Yeah. Listen.
What the?
А слово хрен мат нет, тут растение такое.
Or save them and let me go. Your choice.
She got away.
No time to go after her. We need to secure the entrance.
Everything has an end.
So much blood.
Let's see what we...
По-моему, тут без нас весьма неплохо справлялись. Вот даже особо не нужны были. Ядрёничьи шаманы, это долбаное имя. Что это такое, бля?
Yes?
A trap. I should have seen that.
Their leader got away.
I figured. But it won't be the last time we see her. We secured the entrance. That's what matters. What about the rest of the city? They attacked from all sides at once.
Yes, I know. We'll take care of it. Just hold your position for now. Once all this is over, we'll meet at the Nexus.
Understood. Don't die, Tahar.
I'll do my best.
Знаете, у меня такое чувство, что в принципе людям, ну нашим людям, ничего это не нужно. Посмотрите, какая тут Т3 войны. Ну, серьезно. То еще орки стоят. А как, блин, вот серьезно, каждый раз говорю, что долбаной игре не хватает коней. Ну или более быстрого перемещения. А год земляной собаки, стоит ли ожидать повышения уровня твоего скилла? Мой скилл и так на пике. Я просто его тщательно скрываю. Здравствуйте, Евгений. Елка на стриме. Ну, стрим новогодний, видите, вот елка есть. Может, я когда-нибудь еще шапку достану.
It is. How about you?
Well, we managed to fend off their first attack. They aren't purity, though.
What then?
Mercenaries. They don't have a banner, so they could be about anyone. Thing is, they put up a siege weapon of sorts right up that hill, which prevents us from retaliating.
What kind of weapon?
I don't know. It looks like some kind of catapult, but it seems to be magic-fueled and throws fireballs which cause massive damage. We're out of reach, but the moment we move against their camp, it'll decimate us within seconds.
Whereas, if you attack the machine directly, the mercenaries themselves will fall into your backs.
Or swarm right into the city, yes. We weren't enough to split up, but now we are. Good timing, in other words.
So you want us to destroy that weapon?
Yes. The moment it is down,
всегда есть куда хуже быть. Вообще-то мы сами могли бы разобраться с лагерем.
We could also take on their camp by ourselves.
I don't think that's wise, Tahar. You'll be outnumbered, but I can't stop you.
Девушка, бежим. А чё, прям в горку бежим? Серьезно? А, вот что. Слушай, это какая-то неоднозначная гора, то есть с какой стороны в нее залазить?
There it is. Take it down.
Ой.
Kill them! Killed one of our heroes.
As you want. Is there anything you need?
Whatever's necessary.
Pick the wrong enemies.
That should do it.
Это было просто.
Join Angar. He'll need help with his attack.
Ай, гениальная катапульта просто. Просто гениальная.
Prepare yourselves.
Yes.
Так, мы вроде еще держимся. Погодите. А, это, наверное, вот эти парни, с которыми мы как раз сражались вместе. Вольная компания, которая... Блин, забыл, как их называют.
Damn it! I need healing.
I'll make it. I'm injured. It will be bloody.
Классный доспех.
You read my mind. Blazes. This is Commander Katras from Aeonir's
one of our heroes.
Ну, кстати, как я и говорил.
What a surprise.
Katras, why?
Don't talk, friend. Fight.
Damn it! I need healing.
Help me, somebody.
Yes, of course. A fine plan.
Damn it! I need healing.
They killed one of our heroes.
You cannot leave us now. Get up.
Что-то, по-моему, все очень плохо. Раз удеваешь, ман.
Understood.
Got it.
Аля, мастер телепортации, аля.
Yes, of course.
They killed one of our heroes.
Blazes, help me, somebody.
Ну как я вот это должен видеть? Без хиллера-то тем более. Сделать индикаторы человеческими цветами. Синий, оранжевый, что за... Ну, тут разнообразие. То есть я хочу видеть этот мир вот таким. Синим, зеленым, фиолетовым, а не красным и синим. А почему у вас левел опять?
Let me know what you need.
Я прям не знаю, это же, блин, долбаный Ксардас. Картас. Ну, этот парень, телепортирующийся с дубиной, который раскидывал демона, как нафиг. Что мы ему сделаем вообще? Ничего.
There it is. Take it down. Shit! Kill them!
I'll do what's required.
We'll make short work of them. They will burn. I'm only getting started.
Видите, моя смекалочка позволяет мне выполнять задачу, не выполняя основную задачу. А что делает смекалочка-то?
I will do as I must. What's next?
You'll regret this.
What is it?
They won't stand a chance.
Everything has
They will fall. This is Commander Katras from Aenir's Deathman.
So he's fighting for the purity now.
Corporal Tahar. What a surprise.
Katras, why?
Don't talk, friend. Fight.
I'm injured.
Да что ж ты такой непробиваемый-то, а?
Help me, somebody! Help me, somebody!
Так пинайте его, чё вы стоите-то?
What's next?
Стоят, главное, смотрят на него. Пусти голову бабу вперед. А у меня нет голой бабы. Нет, сидра я не пил.
Blazes, Tahar. Now I know why Lacane wants you dead. You really know how to fight.
Зачем?
Why, Katras? Why side with the Harbinger?
Blazes, you do like your dramatic lines, don't you? Look, this isn't personal. Lacane and his fanatics took down my camp and gave me a choice. Repent and accept the light, or have some stern-faced priest ram a bloody pike up me arse. So, unless you have some odd fantasies that I don't want to know about, don't tell me you wouldn't have done the same.
A loyal man wouldn't have.
Well, good thing I never swore loyalty to you or the Empire, isn't it? Don't kid yourself, Lord Marshal. You would have done the exact same thing. Pretend all you like, in the end we're all selfish pieces of shit, and the only difference between me and you is that I'm honest about it.
Any last words?
I hate to disappoint, but we're not quite there yet, friend. Goodbye, Tahar. Too bad we couldn't be on the same side this time.
What the?
Teleport rune. Good thinking.
Bloody coward. At least we secured the entrance. That's what matters. What about the rest of the city? Are we safe?
Not yet. Hold your position for now. We'll meet at the Nexus once all this is over.
Understood.
Да равно уже про какой-то блокиратор, блин, сделать для этих долбанных рот телепортацию. Сходи к ММО-РПГ голая баба. Так в любом современном ММО-РПГ есть как бы голая баба. То есть вы зачастую ей играете, вы зачастую ее создаете. Зачастую вы и есть голая баба. Да и для ММО-РПГ это как бы такой себе расходник. Я понимаю, как бы в жизни как бы заказал себе, это нормально. А в ММО-РПГ, ну что, вот как? Смысл? Не ухватиться не за что и монитор погладить. Аж повторить по голову. Не могу. Это останется между мной и тем, кто это услышал. Вы из головы, даже если играете за брата мужика, я правильно понимаю? Да, именно так.
Tahar, you're awake.
Shit. So they've already breached the outer walls.
They will soon. That masked thing on the other side. I don't know how he does it, but he's draining me.
Drain? Iria!
Cosa valiantia.
Прилично. Да. Прям верю.
Blazes, what kind of magic is that? Ready yourself, Tahar!
А я тоже такую маску хочу, она прикольная.
One down.
Not the...
Здравствуйте, сука. Левел. Больше хп. Давайте думать. Очков здоровья. Многовато будет. А, вон и что. А, ну что ты, Михалыч-то, а? Ясно, разум. Цель получать здоровье и концентрацию при каждом усилении. Дает благословение вам и союзникам вокруг вас. А вроде оно и так давало вам и союзникам вокруг вас. Чё-то странненькое. Странненькая херня.
What do we need? Corporal? Let's see.
Ellen's reins. What happened?
The barrier gave up.
Blazes. For someone who just came back from the dead, you're in good shape. Whatever your mother did to you, it seems to help. What about that masked fellow? Where is he?
We've taken care of him. At least for now. Are you injured?
No, just a scratch. Seems like Scryer Elion got the worst of it.
Can you take care of her? We have to make sure the other entrances are safe.
Yes. I'll get her to the Nexus as quick as possible. Be careful, Corporal. I have a feeling that masked priest wasn't Lacane's only ace up the sleeve.
Probably not.
Oh, sure.
Stay safe, Iria. So many casualties. I just don't understand. We just ended one war. Now the Harbinger starts another.
Human nature, Tahar. People need an enemy. Peace is always fleeting.
Do you really think so?
I do.
What do you mean? She was possessed. This doesn't make any sense.
I'm afraid it does.
Да не,
But
нормально.
again, I have a theory. Let's wait for Tahar.
There you are. I've assigned troops to guard the entrances and double the defenses. If the Harbinger ever strikes again, we'll be prepared.
Прекрасно.
Good work.
Anyway, there are more important things we need to discuss now. For starters, what, by the Guardians, happened to my sister?
That's a damn good question. Iskrim, you said that you have a theory.
Well, yeah, I do. The rune. While you were asleep, I tinkered with it a little.
You think the rune has something to do with this?
A rune. But it's probably best if I show you. Follow me, Tahar.
I'm coming too.
All right, let's see. Turn around.
Tiara's breath.
Step forward. So, you get the idea.
Mind control.
Yeah. There are still some critical problems with it, and what I've done is far from what the Harbinger did with Lady Moira. But, Tahar, this rune, it has so much potential. If you thought what it does with the Godstones was fascinating, it's just the beginning. The Shapers, the Khazarlanthep, they knew their full potential. And this is the reason they were so powerful. Do you see it now? They...
Have you lost your bloody mind? Stop that! Whatever it is! Stop it now!
What?
Stop it for fuck's sake!
Fine. You're free. Go and take a nap.
Unbelievable. This is unbelievable.
Чё он возмущается, я понять не могу. Я думал, вся фишка в том, что они сквозь друг друга прошли. А я думал, фишка в том, что он им как бы команды отдает. Что там, Мухолов, что ли, буянит? Мухолов. Вроде все нормально. Ты не очень... я не очень, блин, ну все, я... Печаль, беда. Эти люди были одержимы тобой?
So you actually possessed those men?
No, I mean, yeah, the rune did. Look, Tahar, I know that I was maybe a bit too enthusiastic here, but can't you see the potential? Those soldiers, they do anything you command them to, without batting an eyelid.
Может, он спит? Они точно свободны?
They still look hypnotized. Are they free now?
Yeah. It may take a while to recover, but tomorrow they won't remember anything. So it's not that bad. Who knows? Maybe they would have died in the fight if they hadn't been under my control.
То есть ты прямо во время боя ими управлял?
And do you think that the Harbinger controls Lady Moira, right?
Yes, and in an extraordinarily powerful way, if I may say so.
Huh. In other words, we need to find a way to break that possession. Right now, House Utran is under the Harbinger's control.
Madness. This is madness.
Whatever it is, let's tend to the wounded first. We'll discuss everything else in the Nexus.
Yes. Let's do that.
Я был уверен, что здесь будет отсылка к Спарте.
Alright, let's catch our breath first. Angar, I'll talk to you when I'm ready to discuss the next steps.
Good. I'll be waiting.
Что? Теперь наша задача поговорить со всеми? О, это моя любимая задача.
Tahar. Never mind.
Something on your mind?
Well, maybe. Remember when you asked me about Rain? The other gifted shaman from my tribe.
Yeah? What about it?
I want to talk about it. I'm not supposed to, but I don't know. I trust you, Tahar, and I've kept silent about this for far too long. Zarek's fangs, this is so silly. I feel like a damn child.
Ты не ребенок.
I'm not forcing you.
Right. Where do I start? Before becoming a shaman, every disciple has to go through a trial. The Iron Trial, as it's called. I told you that I did most of my training in solitude, didn't I? That wasn't true. 5 years after I entered disciplehood, another orc was accepted by my elder. A female, named Rain. She was 2 years younger than me.
Я думал, что все орчи-шаманы мужчины.
I thought only male orcs can be gifted.
No. It's just that for female orcs, it's even rarer to have magic, which is why there are close to no female shamans.
Huh. How did you get along?
Well, at first, I was a complete dick to her. I was jealous and feared for my position. However, she never took offense by it. She fired back at me when I got childish, but at the same time never lowered herself to my level. As the years went by, we became friends. And no, there was no courting or mating involved, if that's what you're thinking. She was more like a sister to me, and one who, unlike my true kin, understood me. Ah, those years in the Orcish steppes, they were special. I know how it sounds, but it's the truth. We spent days, weeks out in the wild, doing whatever our elder tasked us with. And though it was hard, there was beauty in that. We just had this connection between us, this trust.
Здравствуйте, Стас. По-моему, это похоже на дружбу.
Sounds like friendship to me.
Yeah, friendship. I never had a connection like that again, and I rarely talk about it. One time I did, the orc I told it to laughed right in my face. He thought it was ludicrous, a male spending time with a female who wasn't his mate. He stopped laughing when I broke his nose.
But something happened, am I right?
Yeah, the trial did. A sacred test every disciple has to take before he or she can become a shaman. Our elder sent us both at the same time, which was unusual. But of course I was relieved. There was plenty of talk about the Iron Trial, and I was scared.
А что тебе было известно об испытании?
What did you know about the trial?
Rumors. Shamans are forbidden to talk about it. But it was known that only half of those who take it return at all.
Ну и что же произошло?
So what happened?
We, Zarek's fangs. I can't believe I'm telling you this. I'm breaking my oath.
For what it's worth, I'll keep silent about it, I promise.
I know you will, Tahar. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Почему
We
диалоги
weren't
разные?
told much about the trial. Only that we'd have to venture to a cave, far up in Barga Gore. They also didn't tell us how to get there. Only that Zarek would guide us. And he did. After a week of traveling, we found it. It was a strange place, Tahar. I saw that right from the beginning. The entrance looked like a mouth. The rocks surrounding it like the bones of an old, forgotten beast. And the stalagmites like hundreds of teeth. But of course, we went in. We had to.
What did you find?
A giant hall. It was as mesmerizing as it was unsettling. There were murals and carvings all over the cave walls. Old glyphs that I'd never seen before.
А это не могли быть глифы создателей?
Shaper glyphs, maybe.
No, not Shaper. They looked as if the Guardians themselves had carved them into the rock.
Interesting. What else was there?
Nothing. That's what baffled me. Apart from those murals, the hall was completely empty. And for some reason, the ground in that hall was completely smooth, like polished stone. There were braziers, one in each corner of the hall, and they were burning brightly. Rain was as confused as I was. But nonetheless, we entered the hall. And that's when the trouble began. Because all of a sudden, the exit was gone. No magical noise, nothing. Just in that moment when we looked the wrong direction, it disappeared. And instead of it, we were looking at another wall.
Ну и что вы сделали?
Strange. What did you do?
Well, after we calmed down a little, we assessed our situation. We figured that this was the Iron Trial, and that it was our task to find another exit. So we started looking. But it was pointless. There was nothing. We couldn't even hear the wind anymore. For the next 14 days, we were trapped. We couldn't make that wall disappear, and no matter how long we studied the glyphs, how long we prayed, nothing happened. On the 5th day, our provisions had come to an end, save for half a skin of water and a handful of jerky. On the 8th day, it was all gone.
Blazes. How did you survive?
I'm getting there. As you can imagine, the thirst was the worst. It drove us mad, and we searched every corner of that goddamn hall for just a drop of water. Not that we hadn't looked before, but as you know, hope dies last. Have you ever had thirst, Tahar? Real thirst?
Нет, наверное.
No.
And hope it stays that way. I'd rather bleed out on a pole than experience that again. On the 11th day, Rain and I were puking our guts out. Our skin had literally started to crack, and I felt as if I was burning from within. On the 12th day, we were only an inch from death. That's when the dream came.
A dream?
Yes, a shared dream, almost like a vision. We were still in that hall, Rain and I, but we were out of our bodies, floating like spirits. At first I thought we had died, then I saw what was different. The floor was full of blood, and that blood was burning. The murals and glyphs had started moving, twisting, like shadows dancing on a wall. That's when I first understood what they were depicting. For some reason in the real world, I'd never been able to.
What did they depict?
It showed what was expected from us, what we had to do to get out. Sorry this isn't easy. I've dreamed about those weeks ever since. But telling someone, it feels bizarre. Zarek demanded a fight. Either one of us died by the hands of the other, or we would die there together. The Iron Trial. We were never both meant to pass.
Что-то все как-то прям совсем сурово. Здравствуйте, Финочка. Фу, блин, приветствую, Финочка. Куда подарки дарит, но, блин, почему-то моя система распознавания не распознает, кто мне их дарит. Я, кстати, не понимаю, в чем их смысл? Объясните, чайдушки, в чем смысл подарка? Спасибо большое. Все равно приятно. Ой. Ой, зараза, все болит. Ой, как все болит. И зачем тебе это поможет, надержи. Здравствуйте, Инос. Ай, господи. Вот оно что. То есть оно это для увеличения стримерского писюна, я понял. Ой, мне Spellforce подарили Platinum Edition. Спасибо большое. Библиотеку. Жух. Да, я понял, да, для увеличения стримерского писюна, я понял. Честно говоря, меня это не удивляет.
Truth be told, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have surprised me either. But for some reason, I don't know. He had known Tahar, our elder, our master. He had known that it would come to this. Yet he still decided to send the two of us out at once.
So you fought each other?
No. Trial or not, I would have rather died than done that. And that's precisely what I told Rain. A god that demands a man to kill his own sister is not a god that deserves worship by anyone. But Rain wouldn't have it. She claimed that if both of us died, both of our lives would be wasted for nothing. I got angry and asked her if she meant that she wanted to fight me. She said no.
I don't understand.
She wanted me to kill her. She told me that she was already too weak to make it down the mountain anyway, but that I could still make it. Believe me, Tahar, if there had been any strength left in me, I would have punched her just for suggesting it.
Дурацкое предложение, но серьезно. И все же ты здесь.
And yet, you're here.
I am. I should have known before she even did it. She always had to have it her way, no matter the price. It happened when I was asleep. She took my dagger from its sheath, put it into my hand, and drove it through her throat without hesitation. When I opened my eyes, her blood was already all over my face. And as if Zarek had been watching all along, the wall disappeared. No noise. Just like that. The wind was back, and it was raining outside. The first time in months. I like to think that she saw it before she died.
Did you make the descent?
I did. There were berries in a mountain goat that had been hit by a rock slide, right next to the exit. It was so absurd I almost had to laugh. When I got back to the Elder's shack, I screamed at him, then broke down and started to cry. He just listened. In the end, he told me that we had both known what had been at stake. Yet we agreed. Choice and consequence. He made me a shaman the next day.
Что-то как-то прям совсем суровое. Прям, ну совсем-совсем.
That's cruel.
Maybe. But without cruelty, there isn't life. Don't you too send brothers and sisters into battle, Tahar? Children, fathers. You do it because ultimately, you believe the outcome will lead to a world more desirable. It was the same with Rain and me. We wanted to be shamans, Zarek's chosen, and we both paid the price.
Ты иногда винишь себя в этом?
Do you blame yourself sometimes?
Of course I do. But ultimately, it was her choice, and all I can do to honor her now is to respect it.
В эту игре, но тем не менее, все равно жалко.
I see.
There's one more thing. Remember when you asked me why I feel the way I do about our culture? Why I think we orcs should strive for more? It's Rain who made me realize that. Most orcs would have fought each other in that cave, to the death. But she didn't. Instead of submitting to her primal instincts, she made a sacrifice. One that I could have made too, if I hadn't been such a coward. Blazes, it feels strange to have told you all this. But, I don't regret it.
Well, thanks for trusting me with this, Gore.
Let me have some time for myself right now, all right? I need to think.
Спецобилку дали.
Now would you look at that?
Ah, I was hoping you'd come by. That was quite the surprise visit, wasn't it? The Harbinger couldn't have picked a better time for his attack.
I guess you could say that. How's your injury? That blast from the barrier looked quite painful.
The blast? Oh yeah, sure. I'm as good as new. One of the perks of being a light mage. Tahar, I'm sorry. For everything.
What do you mean?
Well, what you discovered in that dungeon. I didn't see that coming, honestly. I mean, I'd always felt you were different.
Знаешь,
but an
иногда я чувствую, как будто я играю в Planescape.
I would have never guessed. And now that bastard Lacane took your mother. It's just one tragedy follows another. Now I feel almost ridiculous thinking about my supposed problems.
Мы все еще можем ее спасти.
We can still save her.
Yeah, I know. And we will. Blazes.
С озвучкой,
How crazy does that
красоте.
all sound? A half-shaper whose mother's spirit has been stolen by a religious fanatic. If all this weren't actually happening, I'd think I'd be watching a bad play. Though you'd definitely be the tragic hero in this. And I don't envy you.
Молодцы, сами себя еще и потроллить умудрились. А ради разнообразия нам не помешает немного нормальности.
A bit of normality would be nice for a change.
I can imagine. Tell me, Tahar, if you had had the choice, would you have wanted to know about your mother and how you were born?
Я думаю, это не важно.
It doesn't really matter, does it? I found out, and now I have to deal with it.
Well, if you can see it that way, then I envy you. I always wonder about the what-ifs. Anyway, shaper or not, it's good to have you back. Honestly, there were times when I was worried you wouldn't ever wake up again.
I'm touched.
You better be. Anyway, in case you were wondering, I'm not planning to leave now. If you need my help, I'll be here.
Я ценю это.
Thanks, Iria. I really appreciate it.
Great. And now that we've got that out of the way, you should get some more sleep. You still look like a walking corpse. Don't make a habit out of it. I'll talk to you later. Corporal? Need anything?
Почему ты ушла из Финанмира?
You never told me why you fled Finanmir.
Fair enough. You've given me little reason to distrust you,
Ну
so...
давай, расскажи мне
well.
офигительную историю.
Let's just get this over with. I already told you about my father, how to him I had always been more of an asset. Well, after my father died, I decided to become a novice.
A novice?
Someone aspiring to be a priest of Ellen. I don't know why I did it. It was something my father had always considered a backup plan if an arranged marriage wouldn't work out. Part of it was probably because obeying my father was all I knew at that time.
Стать послушницей было
Was
сложно.
it difficult to receive the novitiate?
Not for me. First of all, I was a good candidate. I was still very young, not even in my 30s. And I already knew a great deal about magic and healing. Secondly, I was, after all, pure blood. That helped as well.
Умереть хоть раз успел, пару раз успел. Я же возрождаюсь после смерти из камня богов. То есть меня убивают, такой, ох, это было хреново, не надо повторять это в следующий раз. Возрождаюсь из камня и снова в бой. Плэнскейп. Да и чем занимается жрица Эллен?
What does life as a priest of Ellen look like?
Boring. Though not as boring as a Northander monk's life. You are free to have family and to indulge in the earthly pleasures. Still, your life is devoted to worship. And for a priest of Ellen, that means healing the sick and preserving Ellen's greatest gift, nature.
А что-то у тебя произошло.
But something happened.
Yes. In my first year, I fell in love. That crazy, hot-blooded, head-over-the-heels kind of love that the bards all sing about. The boy felt the same way, and for the next year it was, well, it was perfect. It was the two of us against the world. Maybe you know that feeling.
Техническая... А не геймплейная смерть... Ну, не знаю. Сложно судить. А как его звали?
What was his name?
Doesn't matter.
Действительно не важно. А жертвы были не против?
And the priests didn't mind?
Priestesses. Only women are allowed to teach. And no, they didn't. Elves consider love to be a blessing of Ellen. Forbidding it would be near absurd. I have no clue where your monks got that idea from. Though, of course, that boy and I tried to, restrain ourselves when the situation demanded it.
Да, угадаю, ваш роман добром не кончился.
Huh. And I guess your romance didn't end well.
You guess right. But it was more than that. You know, I told you how I always felt estranged around other people. I knew how to put on a smile, how to make myself fit in, but it was always fake. Shallow. With him, it was different. Dramatic as it may sound, I thought I had finally found someone who understood me. Then there was the novitiate. Despite all the time I sunk into doing the crazy things lovers often do, I never failed as a student. Or, no, let's put it another way. I was the best, in every aspect.
Which didn't sit well with some people.
No. And eventually, they made sure I felt it. They excluded me from everything, stared at me when I walked by. It hurt, yes, but I convinced myself it didn't. I've always been good at that.
Did it take a toll on your relationship with that boy?
More than that. My lover's friends started manipulating him. Telling him that I only saw him as my pet, that he was a failure, and that I only kept him around to feel good about myself.
Я бы знал, как. Как я лучше.
That's toxic.
It was. And their seeds met fertile ground. You see, we novices all knew that only 4 out of 20 will be granted priesthood at the end of our training. And being a failed novice leaves you with a mark you'll keep for the rest of your life. It all looked peaceful on the surface, but beneath that it was an arena. And these other novices, they made sure my friend became aware of that fact. To him, I started being a rival as well. And do you want to know the biggest joke of it all? I didn't see it. The idea that, I don't know, that he would listen to them. That he would ever reach a point where he'd put what we had below his hurt pride and his fears. It never crossed my mind.
So what happened?
Well, he knew I was curious by nature, so one night when we were in bed together, he suddenly asked me if I wanted to go on an adventure. Of course I said yes. So we snuck out into the cloister's courtyard. It was beautiful. The night was cloudless, and the old oak, our cloister shrine, had just begun to bloom. We made our way to the library building, but of course the door was locked. Out of nowhere, he pulled a key, grinning at me, and opened it. It was insane. As you can imagine, priests aren't known for being lenient towards these kinds of trespassings. We were risking our novitiate, and I didn't even know the reason, but I liked it. And we were doing it together, weren't we? It was exciting. He took my hand and we went to the High Priestess's office. We opened the door and went inside, and there he finally told me what we were here for, to open the grimoire.
Здравствуйте, Сакизуэ. Это отсылка к рунам, которые будут после того, как сформируется круг магов. Это типа бета-руна. Рунных воинов, таких как твой герой, в будущем в принципе невозможно убить. Можно только в спячку отправить. Слушайте, какие могучие твари живут в будущем Spellforce. Богоподобные прямо. Похоже, что это что-то запретное.
Whatever that is, it sounds like that was a terribly bad idea.
It was. It was a stupid idea. And if I hadn't been so blind, so bloody naive, I should have seen it by then. But I didn't.
What did he ask you to do?
To open it and try to read one of the spells. He teased me. Told me that I wouldn't be able to do it. You know, saying it like that. It sounds so bloody stupid, doesn't it? But again, I was too blind. I laughed. I wanted to impress him, so I gave him a kiss. Opened the page and started saying the words. Long story short, I lost control. The spell was too much for me to handle and it misfired. One moment I was staring at the pages, the next one, the library was aflame and my lover was gone.
Руны воина ограничены. Тот, кто владеет руной, полностью контролирует рунного воина. А могучих можно держать на поводке. А че, не бывало случая, чтобы рунный воин куда-то свалил с поводка, что ли? Да, мы чувствуем сопли. Чувствуем. Слышим. Ну, блин, ну нормальные сопли. Ну, что такого?
How far did that fire spread?
Качественные.
Not far. It was put out before it could do real damage. But, of course, that was the end of novitiate. I was thrown into the cell of shame and sentenced to 12 years of polishing prayer banks and cleaning floors in the shrine.
Ты пыталась сказать, что все это было подстроено?
Did you try to tell the priestesses the whole story?
No, I just sat there and smiled. Of course I did. But my love had all his friends to back him up. To them, it wasn't even a trial. It was a feast.
Он в будущем об этом пожалел?
Your lover, did he regret it?
I think so. The only bloody gratification I ever got from this. But even if he would have confessed and begged me to take him back, I couldn't have. All that connection, that trust, it was gone. Worse, it was tainted.
И после всего этого ты сбежала.
But you never did polish those prayer banks, am I right?
No. In the night after the trial, they still let me sleep in my chamber. Thoughtlessness, I suppose, or maybe they simply didn't care. I got my things, left, and never came back. So, here it is, the whole truth. No dark secrets, no assassinations, no necromantic rituals. Just a plain old broken heart. Compared with all that shit you had to go through, it almost sounds ludicrous. I thought so. Well, sorry to have wasted your time, Corporal. I think we should both get some rest now.
Understood.
Вы прям со всеми поговорите, а? Прям со всеми, со всеми. Там какая была... Никакой. Я был бы единственный персонаж без сопливой истории. А все было бы круто. Сопливая история не слишком обычная. То есть поначалу, да, это как-то трогало, но... Теперь просто смотришь на качество соплей, которые на тебя вываливают. Достаточно ли они качественные?
So, I guess we have some talking to do, don't we?
You knew about my mother, didn't you? That's what you hinted at back at the forge, before we set out to the Eye.
Well, the answer is yes and no. I had suspicions, let us call it that, but they weren't enough to go on, and I had no idea your mother was connected to the blood burn.
Ты должен был мне рассказать. Эх.
You should have told me.
Is that so? And exactly what should I have told you? That I believe you might be the result of your father's experiments? That you're the offspring of some long-dead, forgotten race? Tell me, Tahar, what for? I mean, at best, you wouldn't have believed me. And at worst, it would have cost you your sanity. So no, I don't think I should have told you. I didn't know if these suspicions had any substance at all. And I would have been at great risk, especially back then, when you were still part of the rebellion.
Ну откуда у тебя возникли эти подозрения?
Where did these suspicions come from? Did my father tell you?
No. And he never found out that I knew. Your father... I don't need to tell you how meticulous he was, do I? That's why he always kept notes of his experiments and studies. I found one, a notebook. The story is actually quite simple. Your father had gone out to meet with Aeolot Iskander, and had tasked me with cleaning up his laboratory.
Really? He never let me into his laboratory.
I know. And he wasn't exactly trustworthy towards me, neither. But you know Asamo. His mood was never what you'd call stable. One day, he'd think the entire rebellion had schemed against him. The next day, he told us that we'd change the world. It was part of his charisma, I guess. Sometimes I think the reason why the Mage Rebellion became so big was less of Asamo's magical powers, rather than his ability to create emotions in his followers. But
То есть
we
он
digress.
одновременно
So
две
I
линии.
had found this small booklet on his table. It didn't look important in any way, yet I was immediately curious. I opened it and started reading.
What was in there?
His experiments in the eye. The ancient woman, as he called her. Your creation, these waxwork figures which he tried to infuse with life. It was disturbing. And at the same time, fascinating, as you can imagine.
Вообще странная харизма, одновременно две линии поведения толкать. По идее, это как минимум насторожить должно человека. Здравствуйте, Нунай. Здравствуйте, Мамбай. Стал немного магом архи огня, очень страшная личность, которую может убить только бог или феникс, или другой маг огня. Пока не так крут, хоть и владеет архи огнем. А как моя мать зачала меня?
Did it say anything about how this ritual worked?
Меняемся к лучшему, можешь.
Andrew said something about
Сейчас донат гол врублю.
I don't think it can be compared to how two humans reproduce, if that's what you're thinking. But as for the details, I don't know. As I said, I barely had 1 hour. And I only got to the chapter about you in the very end.
Хороший и плохой коп в одном копе, да? Это тетрадь. Ну, тетрадь все еще у тебя нет. Тут тупо, естественно, нет. Зачем он это сделал? Зачем он создал меня?
So, why did he, well, create me? My mother said it was to gain access to the Archfire.
Yes, I think that was the main reason. Though I couldn't help but notice a certain, I don't know, warmth in his words when he described his plans.
Не, ну тепло в его словах это все меняет.
Warmth. I guess I should feel honored.
Yes. Sounds cynical, doesn't it? Still, I don't think you were just a tool to him. You weren't. Tell me, Tahar. Knowing all that, how does it make you feel?
Это не важно.
I don't know. It doesn't change anything about the present.
No. I guess it doesn't. Either way, I think we both need some time to think. As I said, Tahar, I'm sorry that I didn't tell you earlier, but I simply didn't know what to do.
Методика давления. Суть в том, что это убедить... Да, но при этом давит обычно два человека, а не один. То есть один притворяется хорошим копом, другой плохим копом. Суть в том, что как бы человек в беде никогда не против найти себе союзника. И человека, который будет его поддерживать. И при этом это два разных человека должно быть, а не один. В противном случае это шизофрения.
Tahar, it is good to see that you have recovered. This place and these people lack guidance without you.
They did?
Yes. The Lord Marshal tried to assume control, but as you might have expected, he did not have everybody's support. I was even fearing an internal power struggle, and I'm glad it did not come to that. I must say, Tahar, your mother, she is remarkable. I have always wondered what the Shapers look like, and now I do. It is fascinating, though I suppose this is a difficult topic for you. Forgive me if my words were inappropriate.
Да все в порядке, чё.
It's all right.
Good. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about? Yes? What is it?
Мамка же огонь, чё бы и не обсудить, да? Какие у вас с Лейной были отношения? О, еще одна история из этих.
So, Vergast, when you told me about your split with Lena, I got the feeling that you were more than just colleagues.
You are asking if we were in love. Am I correct?
Well, yeah, I guess.
Then let me start by telling you that the term love is undefined and that theories about it conflict one another. I have read a lot of books on it, and I've studied the poems, and I've come to the conclusion that it is ultimately a primitive, carnal urge that people have come to romanticize for the emotions that come with it. I, myself, never felt it, and maybe that was because I saw the underlying mechanisms. I always found it strange how people overreact so strongly to such a simple emotion, and maybe that very fact stopped me from being able to feel these emotions at all.
Короче, нахрена умный мужик. Какие же механизмы лежат в основе?
Well, what are the underlying mechanisms?
The desire to reproduce with a fitting mate. In fact, the orcs have a very dry, rational view on this process, but for some reason humans, dwarves, and elves do not.
Давайте будем романтичны. Любовь — это нечто больше.
Love is more than just that.
Well, most people would agree with you, and I'm certain that in your subjective experience it is.
So, what you're saying is that you were never able to feel love, but then Lena came along and you did.
No, it was not that simple. What stood out in our relationship was that we connected. I've never felt that before. You see, Tahar, to me, the bonds people have always felt peculiar, and I am not like Yana. Her mind simply does not have the ability to feel these bonds anymore. She had them once, but then she lost them, as she became a dreamweaver. My brain is capable of feeling these things, but I am unable to connect with the outside world. I only have my own mind as a frame of reference. For example, when a person tells you yes, whereas he or she means no, you might be able to feel this discrepancy because you're able to empathize with her. I can't. To me, this person's distress would make no sense whatsoever. But then there was Lena. For some bizarre reason, she understood me and I understood her. Or at least, I thought that I did. It was as if this barrier, this shell that separates my mind from others, was pervious to her emotions. I know how strange it sounds, and I also have no explanation for why this was, yet it changed me. All at once, I felt connected. Do you know this feeling, Tahar? You have traveled with these people for quite some time now. Is there anyone you were, well, fond of?
Можно чуть менее клишированные диалоги, ну пожалуйста. Пожалуйста. Я не против общего сюжета, он нормальный. Даже классными местами. Ну, блин, ну прописаны персонажи, но не прописаны, да, у них есть история. Ну, пипец же, какая она клишированная. Эх. Тут текста очень много, поэтому, скорее всего, что-то проглядели. Поэтому не весь текст переведен. Ну, проскакивают реплики непереведенные. Да, я люблю черненьких.
Well, yes, there is.
I see. Then you probably know how distracting such a feeling can be. To be honest, when I first became aware of that bond between Lena and me, I was horrified. I could not focus anymore. When I sat down to write my studies, I realized after hours that none of what I had written made sense at all.
Но какие выводы из всего этого сделала Лейна?
What did Lena make of all that?
Nothing. Unlike me, she did not try to analyze, to understand its origin. At the same time, she did not discourage me from pondering. I believe this is what made our relationship unique. Complete acceptance. She did not try to tell me how I should behave or feel, and neither did I. Even when she decided to leave the guild and I decided to stay behind, we both accepted each other's decisions.
Я полагаю, ваши отношения закончились после появления разногласий.
I see. Am I right to assume that your relationship ended with your disagreement over the Creators Guild abandoning its neutrality?
No, you misunderstand. We never had a relationship. Although the feelings were mutual and we, well, acted on them, we never felt the need to bind ourselves to some close-minded societal construct. But yes, you are correct. It was the disagreement that broke our bond. Quietly, she left and never returned again.
То есть, погоди, вы даже не поругались, ну что тут? Да хорошо, где она?
And you have no idea where she and the others are?
I don't. I have heard rumors that they were helping mages in Leonider, but that was moons ago.
Куда-то диалог меня не туда увел.
No, but yes, you are correct.
How do you feel about this?
That is a good question. I still think about her, almost every day. But the more time passes, the more this entire episode starts to feel like a vague, distant dream, the way an elder must feel about youth. I do not know how I would feel if I ever saw her again.
I can imagine. Well, thank you for trusting me with this, Undergast.
You have nothing to thank me for. If this conversation helped you get a better picture of me, I'm glad we had it. But there is one more thing I would like to ask you, Tahar.
Tell me.
Do you have regrets? Do you ever feel as if you could and should have acted differently than you did act?
Это, наверное, четвертый персонаж, которого меня об этом уже спрашивают. Нет.
No.
Impressive. You see, I've never told you this, but I find your resilience to be remarkable.
How so?
Well, it is no secret that you have endured a lot of pain, especially your early childhood must have made a mark on your psyche. But still, you did not give up.
Что такое? Просто мне было не всегда. Что я? Не всегда дело до этого, не всегда было время.
Well, it wasn't always easy.
Of course not. Either way, I think we have spent enough time talking. We should get back to the tasks at hand.
We should. So long, Undergast.
Видимо, с ним как-то неправильно по душам поговорил. Рыжая девка. Что-то вы там уснули, я смотрю. Прям совсем уснули. Я хочу коня.
Yes, Corporal? How can I help?
About you being an assassin. You said that you might be willing to tell me more about that at another time. How about now?
I'm still not certain. The question really is, do you want to know? It might change something.
Здравствуйте, Бонобрит.
Such as?
Your perception of me. It is your choice.
Well, I wouldn't have asked otherwise. Tell me.
All right. Where should I begin? Do you remember what I told you about that man who bought me from the Greyfell Bazaar? My owner? I also told you that after an incident, he discovered my talents and made me an assassin.
I remember. But what does that have to do with your morality?
It's complicated. Just listen and you might understand. The incident took place at a festivity. A lot of highly influential people were there, servants of the crown, wealthy merchants, nobles. My master knew all of Greyfell's elites. As always, at these festivities, it was my and the other slaves' responsibility to ensure the guests' well-being. It must have been close to midnight when a man took me into his chambers. I'd learned to play along years ago, because resisting only made it worse. This time, however, was different. For some reason, that man wanted me to tell him that I loved him. I did, but he kept on telling me that I should say it like I really mean it. When I couldn't, he got angrier and started choking me. I had almost lost consciousness when I felt something break. I don't know how else to put it. It was as if my mind simply cracked open, like a crystal ball smashed against a mirror. And all of a sudden, that man and I weren't separate entities anymore.
Когда экшен, когда договорятся.
My magic, my dreamweavery, that's when it broke free. You probably don't know this, but the only way to become a dreamweaver is by shattering your mind. You are opening yourself to the thoughts and emotions of others, but you lose your own.
Так, что случилось с этим мужиком?
What happened to the man?
I killed him. It wasn't a conscious choice, looking back. I even think that shattering my mind was my body's way of ensuring survival. I closed my eyes, reached out for the man's mind, and just crushed it. The man gasped, lost balance, and fell right off the bed. He wasn't dead yet, but unable to move. Like a puppet rid of its strings. At first I was disoriented. But then I felt it, for the first time. The urge.
To kill him?
Yes. To massacre him. Hear his screams. To see his life taken by my hand. I grabbed a lantern that was standing on a bedside table and knelt over him, and... well, you can picture the rest. To get back to your original question, that urge, it stuck with me. I think that the moment when my mind shattered and I became a dream weaver was what unlocked it. Ever since then, I've found violence and bloodshed to be ecstatic.
Здравствуйте, крокозябер.
And when I kill someone, like I killed that man, I feel alive. Actually, it's one of the few times I am capable of feeling anything at all.
Huh. This is why you became an assassin?
Yes. My master introduced me into the craft. Probably because he knew that my dream weavery had changed me. I wasn't just a slave child anymore. I was a weapon now. More than that, even. I needed what these new tasks my master sent me on provided me with. It had become a basic need of mine. Of course, I briefly considered changing my profession after my master had his accident. But I didn't. Killing is something I need, as much as a child needs the love of his mother. If I don't feed my urge, I will die. Not physically, but mentally. I just know this.
Вот это самая оригинальная история из всех мной услышанных. Ну, наверное, масло вылило, как бы ламповое масло вылило на мужика и подожгла его лампой.
But is there no way to cure you? To return your mind to its original state?
No, there isn't. The Finnomir have experimented a lot with reversing a Dreamweaver's mind to what it was before he became one. And all their test subjects died.
What about your victims? Don't you ever feel guilt?
Once again, Tahar, I do not feel emotions the way you do. Of course I wonder if I made a mistake, but my reflections are purely based on theory. But then again, I don't accept just any contract. The way Leonider described you, you are a monster in human disguise. And that's the first principle I try to live by. Criminals first. The second one is never kill a mother or a child, regardless of the pay.
Да, почему так много диалогов? Потому что это сюжетно ориентированная РТС.
Well, but what if you're wrong? If you kill an innocent?
That has happened before, and it will happen again. You see, I do not consider myself some kind of vigilante, some kind of judge. Ultimately, I know that I am what society would call a murderer, and that I do what I do for myself, above all else.
Это все трудно переварить.
That's a lot to take in.
I know. Now tell me, Tahar, do you regret asking me this question? Knowing all this, do you think I'm a monster?
I don't think you're a monster, no. But I can't understand how you can choose to give in.
As I said, it's a matter of survival. But I understand why you would feel this way. Anyway, I would like some time for myself now. I hope you understand.
Хорошо, это стратегически ориентированная РПГ, которая ориентирована на сюжет. Это сложно понять. Это надо почувствовать. Надо посидеть, послушать часов 20 диалогов озвученных. Вникнуть в них, осознать. Потом поиграть в РТС, понять, что РТС фигня. надеяться на РБГ. Ну, что могли, то склепали. С учетом того, что это делала совершенно другая студия, а не та, которая делала это все в самый первый раз. Чего удивляться о том, что у них перекос получился. Сделано-то все равно неплохо.
Tahar, ready to discuss the next steps?
Как кто сдал про Муландир и почему ты присоединился к нам?
You didn't tell me yet. How exactly did you get here? Weren't you in Greyfell when the Harbinger took over?
No, I wasn't. Otherwise, I wouldn't be standing here. But we were on our way back the night it happened. As you can imagine, it was a hard choice to make. But eventually, I left my pride behind and realized attacking Greykeep with the little division I was traveling with would have been suicide.
So you fled?
We retreated. The rest is simple. We went to Iskander because we had heard the rumors about your army. There, we met one of your scouts, and then the elven woman, Iria of Finnonmere.
Oh, she decided to let you in?
Correct. You know the rest. Your people were a bit distrustful at first, and I don't blame them. After all, they'd been fighting the Royal Army not too long ago. But eventually, they realized that we were on the same side.
Ну, я, наверное, рад, что ты здесь.
For what it's worth, I'm glad to have the Lord Marshal of the Royal Army in our ranks.
Well, right now, I doubt if I still deserve to bear that title. Half of the Royal Army is gone, and I'm to blame. But I appreciate the sentiment.
Давай обсудим, что нам делать дальше.
All right, let's discuss what comes next. I'll go get the others.
Good.
Диалогов было на час.
Good. Now that you're all here, I'd like to plan how we proceed. As
Tahar, I think you should allow yourself some more rest. You were in a coma for more than a month, and we still don't know what that melding actually did to you.
Isn't it obvious? It made him more powerful.
Yeah, but where does that power come from? What effect does it have on the human body or the psyche? We don't know.
Да я в порядке.
I'm all right, Iskrim. Just trust me.
Fine. Then go on.
Thank you. So, our objective is clear. We need to defeat the Purity of Light and save my mother. Angar, am I right to assume that Lacane made Greykeep his new base of operations?
Correct. It's the center of his power, which is both good and bad. It's bad because Greyfell was built to withstand any kind of ambush.
And why is it good?
Because it also means if we succeed and reconquer Greyfell, we'll cut off the snake's head. Once we kill Lacane, the Purity will fall. However, there's no point in fooling ourselves. That battle for Greyfell will be bloody, and if we want to have even the slightest chance of winning, we need to join the remaining houses.
Ultran, Hallet, and Wolfgar.
Yes. If we put this army together with theirs, we might stand a chance. Also, you should see if you can strengthen the alliances you already have, Tahar. I have a plan regarding that, so we can talk further once this meeting has been concluded.
So do I.
All right. So where do we start?
It's up to you. But before we can even think about arranging a conclave between the houses, we need to break that spell the Harbinger put on my sister Myra. Isgrim, any ideas?
Actually, it should be simple. We need to find the one controlling her, take the rune, and, well, destroy it in the forge.
And who is controlling her? What if it's the Harbinger himself?
I doubt it. The manipulator has to be physically close to his subject, so it'll most likely be someone in Lady Myra's army. But your rune will react to another rune's presence, so once that person is near, you'll feel it.
Good. Then I have a plan. The Harbinger has taken up position in Iskander, between the Utran and the Everlight border. You know that place, Tahar. It's where your father started his rebellion, and where Sentenza almost captured you.
The Loyalist camp. So what's your plan?
We strike in full force and take the castle. He'll be forced to initiate a counterattack, and my sister's armies, the Utran army, will be the closest ones at hand.
A bait.
Yes. We hold the castle against the main army, whereas you, Tahar, and a small troop get behind enemy lines. You find the rune carrier and strike from the shadows. Obviously, you'll have to act quick. We can't hold against the entire Utran army forever.
Значит, берем замок, выманиваем утранскую армию и проникаем в тыл.
All right. So we take over the castle,
План
wait for the Utran armies to cross the border, sneak behind our lines, and eliminate the rune carrier. And once Lady Myra is freed, we will try to gain the support of House Hallett and House Wolfgar.
Yes, though we'll need to take care of something else before that. But let's discuss this when the time comes.
Agreed. One more thing. This will be dangerous, and our original mission has been completed. In other words, if any of you are thinking of leaving, now is the time. Well, then we best get prepared now. I'll tell you when we head out.
Understood. Tahar, I'd also like to talk with you if you have a moment.
Мы ж только что говорили, женщина. Буквально только что. 5.
Corporal Tahar. A word, if you will?
Who are you?
Private Miller, Corporal. I'm from the Royal Army and came here with the Lord Marshal. We've captured someone who we suspect belongs to the Purity. He was seen in a deserted village outside this city, and he looks suspicious. He claims to be a simple courier sent to deliver a message to you, but we didn't want to take any risks. He's outside, near the entrance to the caves.
I see. Thank you, soldier. Dismissed.
Corporal?
А почему вроде голос женский, но при этом персонаж как бы мужской? Настало время охренительных историй. Дубль 2.
You said you know where we can find more allies.
Yes I do. I'll make it short. The Ash Reavers have invaded the foot of Bargagor. If we defeat them and their leader, like we defeated Krell, their soldiers will join us.
So, we head back to Bargagor and defeat them. Sounds simple enough.
Well, yeah. Except for one thing. Kagan, the Ash Reavers chieftain. I think this invasion is about more than gaining new territory. It's personal. He despises me, and that's putting it lightly.
Why? Because you killed Krell?
No. It's more complicated than that. Do you remember the story about my trial? About Rain?
Yeah, I do. You took the shapeshifter's trial together, and she sacrificed herself so that you could live.
Yeah, she did. To get to the point, Kagan is Rain's true brother. To this day, he thinks that I killed her.
Он поэтому захватил Баргагор.
I see. And that's why he invaded Bargagor.
It must be. Bloodthirsty as the Ash Reavers are, there is no reason for them to start a war with the Fire Wielders, especially now that we unify them. He must have heard that I'm behind this, and that rekindled his hatred for me. In other words, we need to stop him, and as fast as possible. According to one of my sources, the Purity is also planning to start an attack on Bargagor. The Fire Wielders should be able to hold them at bay, but not if they have to wage war against the Ash Reavers at the same time.
Значит, вернемся на Баргагора и прогоним его?
So what's the plan? Return to Bargagor, drive back the Ash Reavers, and kill Kagan?
If all else fails, yes. We will kill him. For the sake of my people, and for our cause. But he's Rain's last living kin. So I want to first try reasoning with him instead. There must be a way to convince him that I'm not a liar, that I didn't kill his sister.
All right. I'll tell you when we head out.
Yes, Chieftain Czar already left before you woke up to get an idea of the situation. I know time is sparse, but we should leave as soon as possible. And thank you, Tahar. I appreciate it.
Как же не поговорить любят. Ты что-то там молвил про союзников?
You said that you have an idea on how we can get more allies to fight the Purity.
Yes, I do. It's someone you're already familiar with. At least, according to your friend Iria. The Iron Falcons.
You want to convince them to join our troops?
Not all of them, obviously. The Field Dog are an even greater threat than the Purity, even if most people nowadays have almost forgotten about them. What I suggest is that we strike a bargain with them. They give us a small division of their elite keepers, and we provide them with twice the amount of footmen and maybe engineers to make up for it.
Engineers and infantry for a handful of knights. Is that really worth it?
It is. The Falcons aren't only excellent fighters. Their presence will also inspire our soldiers. They're living legends.
Когда я был среди этих живых легенд, мне так не казалось.
That's not what it seemed like when I was there. High Keeper Aranor almost lost the tomb just because she was too stubborn to cooperate with the Deathmen.
Well, given that the latter now fight for the Harbinger, her mistrust wasn't that unjustified, don't you think? But still, you make a fair point. Keeper Aranor is complicated. But if what the elf told me is true, she learned her lesson.
All right, it's worth a try. When do we set out?
Whenever you want. Thanks to these Godstones, it won't take us long to get there. So I'm not expecting this mission to cost us more than a day, 2 at most. We should probably take some troops with us, just in case the canyon is still unsafe.
Fair enough. I'll let you know when we go.
Good.
Так, носить тело своей матери в Нексусе и... можно отправляться в бой.
Got it.
To this day, the Shaper's magical and technological prowess remains unrivaled.
А, ее здесь нет. А где же тогда она? Хоть бы, блин, отметили, что ли.
She's breathing, but her spirit is gone. Damn you, Lacane. What's next?
Пофиг уже на все, давайте куда-то пойдем. А то часть диалогов на пустом месте меня убивает уже. А ну-ка, дай мышу. Надо, блин, провода будет перекрутить. Здесь поговорить, везде поговорить. Знаете, в классических РПГ меньше диалогов, чем здесь.
Ah, Tahar. Good of you to come by.
Sure. You wanted to talk?
Yes. I'll be brief. While you were asleep, an elven messenger came by. Varden Merilith, one of the Moorhere scryers from Leafshade, sent him.
Merilith? What did he want?
Only that he needed your help. They, that is, he and a couple of his followers, seem to be somewhere deep in the Leafshade jungle.
near the Halayish ruins.
The old Hibernian city? But what do they want there? That's dangerous.
I don't know, Tahar. We will need to find out.
Ладно, узнаем, что там случилось.
All right. We might look into this.
We should. Is there anything else you wish to discuss, Tahar?
Нет.
Got it.
Больше ничего обсуждать я не хочу. Я хочу только коня. На коне можно было скакать по этому Муландиру, блин.
What do we need?
Oh, great. Another one. How often do you want me to tell you? I'm not a spy, and I'm not with Purity.
Wait! You're their leader, aren't you? Corporal Tahar.
Yes?
Well, then maybe you can tell these fools to let me go. Blazes, I knew it was stupid to take that job.
Мужик, а почему тебя зовут Вестовая? Почему женщину солдату звали мужиком? Так кто же ты?
So, who are you? And what were you doing in Farland's Hope?
As I told this bloody brute who captured me, I'm just a courier, and someone paid me to deliver a message to a Corporal Tahar. I had no idea it was the Corporal Tahar, and had I known, I would have told that guy who gave me the job to sod off.
Ну и кто?
Who was it?
Well, he was wearing a hood, so he obviously didn't
голос
want to be
поменялся
recognized,
внезапно.
but he had a brown beard, was about your height, and had, I don't know how to put it, a certain sadness in his eyes.
But he didn't look dangerous and paid good coin, so I took it.
Can I see this message?
Oh, finally, someone who asks. Yes, it's in my coat pocket, and no, there's no poison in there to kill you.
Let me see. A meeting in Everlight. From a friend.
A friend, you see? Can I go now?
Yes. Go.
Thank you, Corporal. Thank you. Now, don't get me wrong, but I want to get out of here as soon as possible. Do you think your guards will let me through?
They will. Stay safe.
I'll try.
Ладно, давайте пойдем в ближайшее подножие Барга гор. Ну, соответственно, гор с нами, куда же без этого.
I'll make it quick.
Нет, не хочу рыжую девку.
You picked the wrong enemies.
Не хочу парня.
Get ready.
Хочу Ринию и Андергаста. Значит, первое. Ответы. Главный герой диалоги. Прям мои мысли читают частенько. Но самые логичные, видимо, выбирают.
High Chieftain Gore! High Chieftain Gore!
Do I know you?
Zarek. I'm a tracker. Chieftain Zar sent me to welcome you.
Ah, good. Where are they? And what's the situation?
Bad. The Ash Reavers have started to put up their cow to the northeast. And the Paleskins...
The Purity.
Yes, the Purity. They are only a 2-day march from the mountain.
2 days. That's not a lot of time.
It isn't. Zarek, where's Zar now? And the other ones I asked him to gather?
To the north. They are waiting for you.
Good. Go and tell them we're coming. Tahar, I won't lie. This will be a tough battle. But we have to win it before the Purity arrives. Let's head to the camp and talk to Zar and the other advisors. They'll help us establish a strategy.
Наконец-то будет миссия на время.
Didn't you want to try diplomacy first?
This is diplomacy, Tahar. The orcish version. If we'd let Kagan know we're here before we've gathered some force, he'd simply crush us. Never seek reconciliation without a display of strength. Now come. Yes?
Gore?
Huh?
Did you orcs ever consider moving into a friendlier climate? I mean, no offense, but this place is a wasteland.
Some orcs did. The Moonskin, for example. But as far as we fire wielders are concerned, no. This wasteland is our home, and it will stay that way. The harsher the climate, the bigger the struggle. And thus the stronger our kind.
А, ну да, она сама воскресает, получается. Так, тотем огня мы уберем.
Let me know what you need.
А тут менять нечего. Сейвушка. Сейвушка. И вой.
You got it.
Whatever's necessary.
Ох, ядринский конь.
Yes. What's next?
Охренеть. Какая жуткая тварюга. Сколько КД? А, КД получается плюс 15 секунд, да? То есть фактически перманентно. Но у него брони вообще нет. То есть у него много хп, но совершенно нет брони. По-моему, неплохо.
Here we are. So I want you to speak to 3 of my men. Elder Zilrak, Chieftain Zar, and Foreman Urash. They'll all want to discuss strategies with you regarding our upcoming fight against the Ash Reavers.
All right. What about you? Don't you want to have a say in this?
Tahar, I'm loyal to my people, but not stupid. You've won many battles, and you'll win this one. I may be a leader, but I'm not a strategist. I'll wait here. Come back once you've spoken with them.
А им что, 3 тактики разных посоветуют?
Tahar, High Chieftain Gore told me you'd come.
Как ты себя чувствуешь?
Are you okay?
The stutter? Yes, just a tick of mine.
Ah, Gore said you wanted to discuss something with me regarding our battle with the Ash Reavers.
Yes, it's simple. What resources do you want us to harvest while we set up this cal?
Всего в равных количествах.
Balance it out.
Good. What about the tools for our workers? I can order some smiths to improve some of them, but not all.
That's a tough one.
Охотники.
Get our hunters some better bows. The more food we have at hand, the faster we can expand.
Understood. Have you spoken with the other advisors already? If not, you should do it now. Stay safe, Tahar. May your blood never boil.
Это странно слышать, блин, заикающегося орка.
Interesting.
Я думал, таких в детстве кончают у них.
Let's see.
Tahar, Zauraka.
Greetings. Gore said we should talk to you regarding our strategy against the Ash Reavers.
Yes. Within the next 2 days, we need to turn this Cal into a fortress. And since you've proven more than once that you're one heck of a commander, Gore wanted you to decide how. The first choice we need to make is what kind of fighters to pick to lead our defenses. We don't know Kagan's strategy, so normal axe wielders might be our best bet. Then again, maybe Kagan thinks the same thing. In that case, a pack of warg riders would be devastating. Lastly, we could place our bets on K-Ran hunters and attack from the distance. What do you say, Tahar?
Давай охотников.
Let's go with the K-Ran hunters. Kagan would expect that.
All right. What about expanding? Kagan is still busy with building his cow, so we could either try to gain as much ground as we can now, or put our efforts into fortifying the sectors we already control instead.
Let's expand. That will give us more control over the area.
I agree with you on that. Lastly, how should we approach battle? Should we strike as early as possible and force Kagan to spend more resources now, or should we focus on building up a large horde instead?
Чем раньше мы ударим, тем лучше.
The sooner we strike, the better. Let's be as aggressive as we can.
That's the spirit. Anyway, we're through. Best I get started on the preparations now. See what the other advisors. May your blood never boil, Tahar. I'll see you on the battlefield.
Ну и последнее.
Understood.
You have my attention.
The Shaper child. And so we meet again.
А ты откуда знаешь?
How do you know about this?
Because Gore told me. Also, I already sensed there was something different about you when we first met. But don't worry, most of us don't. They all know something happened to you inside that dungeon, but not what exactly. Though your new powers certainly invite speculation.
I guess they do. So, you wanted to talk tactics?
Tactics? Yes. I suppose you could call it that. This altar here, it has been in Bargagor for as long as we orcs have existed. To put it short, it's a gateway to Zarek's powers. If you know how to harness it, which I do, and I want to bless you with it. So, there are 2 blessings I can bestow upon you. The first one will allow you to call down fire from the sky, which we can directly aim against Kagan's troops. The second one is a blessing that will allow you to use the altar's power, to put some of Zarek's fire into our fighters' blood, which will make them strong, very strong.
Давай, bless Zaraka.
Our fighters can use all the blessings they can get. Let's go with that.
Agreed. Then step back. This won't be easy.
Да, это действительно было непросто.
You will be able to call upon the power by touching the altar. Just promise me this. Whatever you choose to use it for, do it with respect.
I will, Elder Zilrach. Thank you.
No, Tahar. If there's anyone who owes thanks, it's me. If it wasn't for you and Gore,
Krell would have led the fire wielders into extinction. Before you go, there's one more thing. Did you ever hear of black ash?
I have. It's a very rare material your kind uses to imbue weapons, isn't it? Just as humans use Aria.
Correct. Our elite fighters, our shamans, the troll tamers, they couldn't do what they do without the ash. We'll need it in our fight against Kagan. So, be on the lookout.
Откуда берется этот черный пепел?
Where does this black ash come from?
They are leftovers. When the renegade gods fought the Guardians, there was, as you can imagine, a lot of destruction. The black ash is what remained of the trees Zarek's fires burned down.
All right. I'll see what I can do.
Good. If you've talked to Urash, until then, Tahar, may your blood never boil.
Ну что, попробуем в раш? Вдруг выйдет. Сейвушка. В раш через экспансию.
Now would you look at that?
Tahar, I take it you've talked to the advisors?
Yeah, we're all set. What now?
Now we set our plan in motion. Once we've finished our preparations, we'll march towards Kagan's Cal and try to reason with him. So, are you ready? I'm not expecting this to take more than a couple of hours. Half a day at most.
Я готов.
I'm ready. Let's begin.
Good. I'll send out word. Just stay alert, Tahar. The Ash Reavers aren't known for their intrigues, but Kagan's hatred might get the better of him.
Still can't believe we're doing this. Walking right into the lion's jaws.
I owe that to Rain.
You actually came. I'm impressed, Gore. I thought a coward like you would have let his pale-skinned friends do the hard part by themselves. So what do you want? Have you come to surrender? I have to say your K-Ran hunters were something I didn't expect. Good trick, though not good enough. For what it's worth, they faced their death like true orcs. Didn't expect any less of them.
I'm not going to surrender, and you know that.
Of course I do. Just as much as you know that I wouldn't let you, even if you wanted to. Then...
I didn't kill her, Kagan. I didn't.
Quiet.
She did it. She gave her life for me, damn it. I told her not to do it. I told her that I didn't want to be a shaman if it meant killing my own sister. But she just wouldn't listen. Kagan, you... Do you have any idea how hard it is? To go on living as if nothing happened? Trying to forget this nightmare every goddamn day?
Liar! You
Ты настолько
fucking
пафосно, да,
pathetic
что прям
lying
спиной
piece
к
of
нему
shit.
повернулся и спина
I
говоришь.
should fucking kill you right where you stand. Giving her life for a weakling like you? Why, Gore? Why? Why would she ever have done that?
I don't know. I just don't know.
That's right, you don't. And even if she had, even if what you told me wasn't the most cowardly, pathetic lie ever spoken by an orc, why did you go on? Why? If it was so hard for you, why didn't you just renounce Zarek altogether? Or even better, throw yourself off that bloody mountain? Why? I swear, Gore, by nightfall, you and your little pale-skinned friends' heads will all be on pikes right where I'm standing. The crows picking out your bloody eyes. I fucking swear it.
All right, I've had enough of this. This ends right here and right now.
What? No, Tahar, you...
Quiet. What's that?
This isn't over, Gore. This isn't over.
Мексиканская дуэль, моя любимая.
Everything has an end.
You repent.
What is it?
Сейчас всем писец будет. Просто выше никого нет.
Fair enough. Let's do this.
Healing. Need.
They got one of our heroes.
Decide.
Rocca, this is bad.
Why in blazes is the purity here? I thought they were still a 2-day march away.
Seems they weren't. Quick, back to the Cal. We need to defend it.
Здравствуйте, CBB. Double CBB.
This looks like a suitable place.
Это маг круга.
Chieftain, the outpost has been built. Our borders have expanded.
Отстань.
What?
Отстань. Так. Пара дозорных башен у нас есть.
Chieftain, we need to gather more wood.
Ну долби эту фиговину. Хил. Второй хил.
We're under attack.
Здравствуйте, Алексей. Только с самым Дахаром случилось, что он умер. Его уже убили в войне магов.
Chieftain, the outpost has been built. Our borders have expanded.
Let's see.
Chieftain, we need to gather more wood.
So, what's the plan?
Another purity attack.
Take them down.
Долбаный свет.
Everything has an end.
Загодило, это пожиратель пламени, чтобы это не было.
Building complete. That was just the first wave. Tahar, I need to talk to you. They couldn't have picked a worse time. Now both the Purity and the Ash Reavers will try to destroy us.
So I'm guessing negotiating with the Ash Reavers is off the table.
I don't know. There needs to be a way to convince him. There must be.
Ну и как?
How? He doesn't believe you, Gore.
I know. Maybe. Yes. Yes, that could work. If we take out the Purity first, then Kagan might be forced to cooperate.
Forced? Why?
For the same reason we beat Krell. Orcs, the Ash Reavers more than any other tribe, respect strength. If we show them how we crush the enemy before Kagan does, they might lay down their arms as a sign of respect.
And then? Kagan still won't forgive you.
Maybe not, but I have to try.
Lay down their arms as a sign of respect? Sorry, Gore, but that plan sounds shaky at best. Kagan wants...
Here goes nothing.
What's next?
Ну вот прям, ну очень не вовремя. Даже договорить не дали, сволочи. Это вообще что такое?
They got one of our heroes.
Она сейчас восстанет. Это не страшно.
attack.
Just give the word.
Что, прям со всех сторон прям жмут. И нифига, это нехорошо.
We're under attack.
What is it?
I'll take a look.
Здравствуйте. Коплотень.
That way?
We're under attack.
Как я от этого должен отбиваться? Объясните мне. Я не успеваю ничего сделать.
Yes.
Let us make this quick.
If you insist.
So, you're the infamous Tahar. Huh. Not what I expected.
Who are you?
Zugan, Zalraka Tahar. We're fire wielders too, but we were out on an expedition for the past moon. Seems that we got back just in time.
Well, good timing. You should join the fight.
I can't wait.
Yes?
Вот это то, что нам надо.
Sounds like a plan.
Для качественного раша.
Got it.
Let's see what we can do.
Fair enough. Let's do this.
Человеки, хватит тупить.
We're under attack.
Что ж, големы такие, ну что толком-то пошли,
We're
а?
under attack.
What do we need?
For the fire wielders.
Damn it. We lost a sector.
You read my mind.
Let us make this quick.
Chieftain. All right. We're under attack.
That way?
Ну, раш так раш.
We're under attack.
Get ready. Here we go.
Interesting.
Да, опасаюсь, я следующего минуту не успею. Только потому, что его слишком много.
We're under attack.
Yes.
This say the word.
As you require.
Можно поставить на другие слоты и переключаться. Да, я знаю, я ненавижу все. Сделано отвратительно.
What's next? Will do.
Everything has an end.
Fair enough. Let's do this.
Whatever's necessary.
Yes.
Damn it. We lost a sector.
Так, работаю быстро и очень активно.
Damn it. We lost a sector.
Долбанное замедление. Какое-то долбанное замедление висит.
We're under attack.
Just give the word.
What do we need?
We're under attack.
Черт, неужто я не то уничтожу? Вот оно где. А, то есть это когда ванпоста пробился, до которого вообще пробиваться смысла нет. Что-то все как-то очень плохо. То есть, если нормально от защиты выстраиваться, то надо с самого начала защиту брать, а не раш. Тогда обходить справа. То есть не вот так вот идти через центр, а вот так вот по боку. И сразу им в мейн-центр впиваться. Хотя у него были 14 тысяч, но это очень немного.
Damn it. We lost a sector.
Sure.
We're under attack.
A fine plan.
Let's see.
И больше еды надо.
One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Building completed.
What's the plan?
Healing. Need healing.
Че, просто взять и пробить его, это слишком тяжело, да?
What is it?
What do you want?
Make up your mind.
Yes, of course.
Будем надеяться, что здесь пройти можно.
We're under attack.
Sounds like a plan.
Let's burn.
Fine.
Хрен, здесь пройти нельзя.
That way?
Understood.
I will do as I...
Damn it. We lost a sector.
Sure.
Что-то как-то я опасаюсь, что раш мой не возымеет успеха.
They will fall.
Here we go.
Больно здание бронированное.
I need healing.
They got one of our heroes.
I need healing.
Ну да, он толпень пробежал, и все, и привет. То есть 4000 это максимум, который способен в данном случае.
They got one of our heroes.
А, дрянь. Ладно, к черту. Сегодня, я думаю, не успеем нормально это пройти, поскольку после тренировки вообще никакущий. Как бы это отвратительно не было, но это так. И нас какую-то сложную битву я, к сожалению, не способен. Не, ну тычить как бы дома мечами это нормально. Как бы в Варкрафте так было. Где-то еще так было, я не знаю. Где-то точно было. Вот. И тренируешься в качалке. Как все. Эх. Ладно, дамы и господа, поскольку чедушка слабак, на сегодня, к сожалению, ой, все. И помните, если вам понравилась трансляция, подписывайтесь на канал. Если вам очень понравилась трансляция, там есть группа ВКонтакте, ну и канал на Ютубе. Еще можно комментарий оставить, что просто мне было приятно. Ну или друзьям рассказать, что хоть какая-то реклама канала была. Необычный зал. Обычный очень суровый зал. Прям очень суровый. Вот такая фигня. Так, давайте запись остановим.